Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Jesse, and I just saw Obsession. Obsession is a horror movie written, directed, and edited by Curry Barker. This is far from Curry's first movie, but this is his first one to garner this level of attention. I really want to shout out the marketing campaign and all the people behind the marketing for this movie because it was excellent, dude. Everything from the merchandise that directly tied into the world of this movie. As you can see, they were selling these One Wish Willows, right? So cool. Yes, I spent $10 on that. Don't get on my ass about it, Mom. They had a lot of super awesome billboards for this movie. It would start with this like blank kind of slate, and then more and more, it seemed like every day, or I'm not sure what it was, they would add to it as if the obsession was increasing. Wonderful. Just, they didn't have to do that, but they did. So, a part of me knows that all of this stems from the mind of Curry Barker. This dude is 26 years old. He's 1 year older than me. And I can already see that this dude has his fingerprints all over this movie. I think the entire cast and crew of this movie had a clear and cohesive vision. And that was to create a fucked up, unnerving, nightmarish banger of a movie. The movie follows a young man named Baron, played by Michael Johnston, who works at a music store with his friend Ian, played by Cooper Tomlinson, Sarah, played by Megan Lawless, and of course, Nikki, played by Indy Navarrete. I'm so sorry, I don't know. The movie immediately jumps into Baron's incredibly clear motivation for the story, which is to confess his love to Nikki. But Baron goes into one of these, metaphysical tarot card gem store shops, you know what I'm talking about. He buys the One Wish Willow. They have like a display of them. He intends on giving it as a gift to Nikki, but in the moment he's like sitting in his car with her and he just locks up, he chokes, so he doesn't end up giving it to Nikki, and because of that, she's like walking up to her front doorstep, and he's like, I'm so stupid. And he takes out the One Wish Willow, and he's like, I wish Nikki loved me more than anyone in the fucking world. And he snaps it, and instantly the movie just slows into a nightmare. Camera pulls back to show Nikki silhouetted on her front doorstep, staring back at Baron in his car, just standing there. And then she comes back to the car and she's like, I think we should keep hanging out. Do you want to go back to your place? Do you want to get some drinks? He's immediately off put by this, which I think was an excellent choice because, of course, we all know that Baron loves this girl and he just wished for that. They go back to his place and she's just acting freaky. That's Freaky Nikki. This was a nickname that she doesn't like in the movie. So when they get back to his place, right, the vibes have flipped in this movie. They have spoiled. The vibes are spoiled milk. So this movie revolves around Baron reaping the consequences of his wish as Nikki becomes more and more overly obsessed with him. It's a clean, clear premise with a perfectly simple setup. Curry Barker directed another movie called Milk and Cereal. I have not seen Milk and Cereal, so this was my first taste of what he has to offer, and let me tell ya, I am still just licking my fingers clean after seeing this thing. So what I think I love most about this movie was truly how simplistic in nature it was. The movie was created by people in their 20s, which of course, I admire, but more than that, it doesn't feature anything extraordinary. I'm trying to think of a better way to word that. It doesn't feature any over-the-top CGI, demons or monsters. There's no set pieces that really show off like $100 million budget by any means. A lot of this movie takes place in Baron's house that he's inherited from his past grandmother. What you're paying to see with this horror movie is sort of a situational horror where Baron is trapped in a relationship with the vessel of who used to be the girl that he has a crush on. Very early on, it is made clear that is no longer Nikki in there. Well, she is, but she's like suppressed somewhere deep down, and at random points, like flipping a light switch, she just pops back out and she's like, she just screams, and it's like a pop of a firecracker. All of a sudden, she's Nikki again, and she's like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then she goes, hey, Baron, and it's like, oh my god, dude, it's amazing. It's great. So she like snaps back for only a second or so before she's swallowed back by the curse of his wish. So in that aspect, Baron, right, is Barry. He's not like the most likable protagonist because of this. You can tell that there's like some selfishness in there, but like I kind of get it. Maybe I'm just like a dude, but like he's had a crush on her for who knows how long, and he finally has a shot with her. It's like he can't realize he's in his own nightmare because he's like, no, I need to give this a chance because this is the girl of my dreams. They talk about it. I feel like she's in a bad place and you're taking advantage of her. And he's like, no, please don't say that. It's not like that. But really, brother, kind of what you're doing. The cinematographer, the DP, as they say, of this movie is Taylor Clemens. Excellent cinematography. There's a lot of tungsten light in this movie. The whole thing is very brown, like a beautiful brown. It has like this espresso wash over the movie. It's like watching one of those new Starbucks ads. Have you seen those? Brown, filmy look to it. It's gorgeous, but like make it horror. You know what I mean? Between Curry and Taylor, they make an excellent duo. The blocking in some of the scenes in this movie are just extraordinary. You know, there's so much control over the camera and the movement of the actors where, you know, they step into a new frame as the camera moves. They follow each other. It's a dance with these actors and the camera, and you really feel that when you're watching it. There's a lot of control. Let's dig into the biggest aspect of this movie, right? The acting. The acting in this thing is fucking excellent, dude. Michael Johnston, who plays Baron, he portrays terror in pretty much every scene. And that unto itself is very admirable, because think about it, right? Like, take a step back and think like you're like a young guy and you're like an actor. You wake up in the morning, it's like the sun hasn't come up yet, and you have to like get up and like drive to set or base camp or whatever, get ready, go to set, and then they're like, all right, poop your pants, you know? It's like, be so scared you're shitting. And he has to do that every day for weeks. It's like wonderful acting. But sorry, pal, you were blindsided, unfortunately, because Indy Navarrete, just taking another crack at it, has done something impossible here with her acting. It's maybe some of the best acting I've ever seen. You know, when she's cycling through all of these faces of like what she thinks that Baron wants, like, it's awful, it's terrifying. It's like it's trying to replicate what a girlfriend should look like, and that's horror right there, let me tell you. This girl moves her face in this movie in ways that I have never seen before in my 25 years of life. Truly remarkable things have been captured on film with this performance. So, like I said, a lot of the horror in this movie is built upon situations and the atmosphere. There's a lot of cringe, but like good cringe, a cringe that I can handle. It's very unsettling, very unnerving. I even teared up at one point very early on in the movie. I believe it was the second scene, because I felt so bad for Baron. Just shouldn't happen to a young man. I think this movie, it does make light of the whole, male loneliness. There's a lot of implied backstory with Baron, and I think it's just very well done. And there's a few visual metaphors in this movie that I really loved, Curiosity killed the cat. So it was all around a great movie, great horror movie. I believe that we are in something of a horror renaissance right now. I think there's a possibility for this genre to be what superhero movies were to the 2010s. And admittedly, I was not a huge horror fan until we got movies like It Follows and Hereditary and everything that came in the mid 2010s. But it's because of that shift that I am now here in the horror space. So the landscape of horror is shifting, and with that means there's going to be an oversaturation. Sinners very nearly won Best Picture last year. Amy Madigan just won an Oscar for portraying a witch in the best movie ever made. So what I'm trying to say is, with more movies in the genre, less will be remembered or thought about years on. I don't think that's the case for this movie. I think this is going to be one of the few that is remembered. I think it will be remembered for its minimalism and its attention to detail and its care that was very obviously put into this project. So, Curry Barker, I speak directly to you now, my friend. I fuck with you heavy. I have a horror script and I'm gonna send it to your agent. I'll have my people reach out to your people, okay? Talk soon. So this is a horror classic, right? I can't wait to see what Curry does next. I'm sure this will unlock many more projects for a lot of the talented cast and crew that worked on this, which is amazing. All around, definitely worth a watch. It will make you feel awful, but in the best way possible. That's what we're here for, right? So please, go see Obsession, form your own opinion, and thanks for watching. All right, bye.